In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the factors that play a role in influencing the market and how what we're going through right now is far from typical. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about silver and also gold, also a little bit of the stock market and a variety of different markets, but I wanted to mainly talk about market volatility and some of the factors that play a role in influencing the markets and how everything on the list of factors has a separate list of sub-factors. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, and if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. We got the brand new Lone Wolf t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, coffee mug, and long sleeve available up for grabs right now, 4 different colors, and a portion of the proceeds are going towards the International Wolf Center. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. But today is Friday, August 20th, 2021, except it's actually Thursday the 19th as I'm filming the video, so I have no idea what the spot price is going to be by the time this video drops, so head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about market volatility. I wanted to talk about some of the influences that cause the prices to go up, some of the prices to go down, and how, generally speaking, if you're paying a majority of your attention to one particular market and you see that it's on a decline or maybe it's moving in an upward direction, that's usually, not always, but usually an indicator of what direction the other markets are going to move in as well. They usually go in the same or at least a very similar direction. Now, some will be on the rise or on a decline at a much more rapid pace than the other markets, but typically they're moving in the same direction. Maybe at different speeds, but they're going the same way. Now, what we're going through right now in the world, and really what we've been going through for the last going on 2 years, it's been over a year and a half at this point, but what we've been going through is not typical. This is not usual. This is not the norm. This is something that is very, very foreign. And the reason I say that is because during normal times, we might be actually going through what we're going through right now. We have a lot going on right now. We have international conflict. We have people getting sick. We have unemployment. We have inflation right around the corner. There are so many things on our plate, and funny enough, these things are always on our plate. But right now, we're getting hit from all angles. They're all occurring at the same exact time. We have a whole long list of things that are influencing the markets. So what I'm going to do in this video is actually steal a little clip from Wednesday night's VIP Club live stream. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to join. I'm going to include that clip right here in the video, and when it's over, I'm going to hop back on, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this very particular subject because, quite honestly, I think it's a really important one. So without any further ado, here's the clip. Here we go. Everything that I just went on a rant about is playing a role. It's influencing the markets. This is literally what happens. Like, look what happened to the markets during times in the past where there was like the possibility that we were on the brink of a war. It happens all the time. And it's not just the possibility of war, it's all these other issues as well. It's a unique situation, and I know I was saying it last year. I said it a lot last year, and I'll say it again this year because now we have a different set of issues. It's not like there's something going wrong. We have an entire collage of things going wrong. So it's unique because normally there aren't this many factors all playing a role in influencing the markets simultaneously. Usually it's a smaller number of things. Now, between this year and last year, oh my God, the list has gotten so long. I mean, think about it. During normal times, where people aren't fearful, oh my God, there's about to be a war. During normal times where people aren't saying, oh my God, there's a deadly virus. During normal times where people are just waking up in the morning and just going to work because that's what they do on a normal day, instead of everyone waking up and just staying home. During normal times, these issues aren't even part of the equation. It's just normal things influencing the market. Right now, the reason things are so chaotic right now is because there's so much craziness on the table. We have all the normal influences, and then we have a whole long list of other influences as well. And guess what? Every factor on the list has a separate list of sub-factors. I've been saying this since last year. So much is on the table, and it's impossible to tell what direction we're going to move in. It's impossible to tell what the result of all of this is going to be. It's impossible to tell what steps are going to be taken next and what the results will be for those steps that are going to be taken. It's so weird right now. That's the best way I can explain it. These times are weird. And that's what happens. It doesn't matter what market we're talking about. It could be the stock market, which is arguably the most emotional. It could be the precious metals market, which typically follows in the same direction, but depending on what's going on, silver and gold can go up when the stock market goes down. That's not what happens on a typical, average, usual, normal basis, but it depends what the issue is. It depends on what the influence is. It depends on why the stock market's going down. Sometimes the stock market can go down because it's just on a downtrend anyway, and then it goes down even more, like it plummets because people sell off at that point. They liquidate, they take their cash out of the market, which drives the prices down even more, and they take that cash and they inject it into precious metals, mainly gold, which causes the price of the metals to start going up while everything else is going down. So in certain situations like that, they can move in opposite directions, but that's not normally the case. Usually if one metal is moving in a downward direction or an upward direction, the other markets will follow. And it goes for the housing market, it goes for, I guess you can say, the market for digital currencies as well. Those are incredibly volatile. But people sell off when they're afraid. People buy in when they're confident. And during times of economic instability, or during times of hardships, or during times of whatever's going on in the world, if there's fear, an uncommon level of fear, a lot of people sell off. We see it happen all the time. Whenever something crazy is happening. And I don't want to be that guy to sit here and be like, it just feels like something bad is about to happen. I don't want to be that guy. Because I genuinely am optimistic. I actually have more confidence that this is going to blow over much, much, much more smoothly than expected. That's honestly what I believe. I believe everything at the moment is a little bit over-exaggerated. Not everything, but a lot of things are over-exaggerated. I think that there's a lot of... I mean, there's always going to be a reaction to these things, but in my opinion, it seems like, generally speaking, a lot of this is an overreaction. I could be wrong, by the way. I don't know for sure. But it just seems to me that a lot of people are overreacting at the moment. And hopefully, the dust settles sooner rather than later. But these are the times that make people genuinely feel and believe that something bad is on the horizon. And that could very well be the case. I personally do not think so, and I hope to God that that's not the case. But it's best to stay prepared. So yeah, that was a little clip from the Wednesday night VIP Club live stream. Again, if you want to join, I'll leave the link in the description. I do monthly giveaways, daily silver and gold deal alerts, weekly live streams, and I'm actually doing them closer to twice a week right now. And by the way, the next giveaway is going to be in a couple of days, so link in the description. But I wanted to branch off from what I was talking about in that clip, but I wanted to do a little bit of an extension because I feel like I probably could have gone into a little bit more detail. Now, I went into quite a bit of detail last year, so to reiterate what we were going through 8, 9, 10, 11 months ago when I was making videos back then, I would talk about how everything going on in the world, I mean, we don't really have to talk about stimulus like we were talking about relentlessly last year. There's a lot of stuff that happened last year that we're not really paying too close attention to. It's not super relevant at this very particular point in time. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, there are going to be some massive ramifications. There are going to be tons and tons and tons of consequences. But what we should be paying attention to the most right now are the current events. What's going on at this very particular moment. A lot of the time people will say, hey, you know, this happened last year, or remember when this happened, or remember when this person said this and they lied about that, blah, 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 blah. It's all a big distraction. That's all in the past. You can't really do very much about that at the moment. What we should be paying attention to is what a lot of people don't want you to pay attention to. They don't want you to notice certain things going on in the world right now. And I think it's pretty important that we stay focused. I think it's pretty important that we stay objective. We don't get caught up in emotions. We don't get caught up being frustrated with this or angry about that or feeling betrayed by this or fearful of that. We need to stay rational. We need to stay objective. We need to stay logical. And what we need to be paying close attention to right now, in my opinion at least, everything going on in Afghanistan. I mean, that was a complete and total disaster. Opinions aside, I don't think it really matters what side of the spectrum you're on or what your opinion is. I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page on this. That was a horrible, atrocious way of going about the situation, and I think the results speak for themselves. Look what happened. Doesn't matter what your opinion is. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. None of that matters. Look what happened. Look at the consequences, and this is not going away anytime soon. They might stop talking about it. They might want you to stop paying attention to it. They might want you to focus on the little ice cream truck driving past. Oh, listen to the music. Oh, everybody pay attention to the ice cream cones. No, pay attention to what's important. Pay attention to actually what's going on, because guess what? It's affecting the market, and that's one of the many things affecting the market. We've been talking about inflation for the last year and a half. I mean, we've been talking about it for God knows how long, but we've been paying attention to inflation even more so the last year and a half because of all the printing that has gone done. $1 trillion stimulus deal, $1 trillion this type of deal, $1 trillion that type of deal. Here's $1 trillion for you. Here's $1 trillion for you. Here's $1 trillion that we're going to give to all these countries, and here's $14 that we're going to give to this country. This is something that we need to pay attention to because inflation, as I've been saying for the last year and a half, it seems like it's right around the corner. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface just yet. A lot of times when I say inflation is on the way, or at least I believe inflation is on the way, people get all bent out of shape and say inflation's already here. Yeah, the prices are starting to go up, but I don't think we've even scratched the surface just yet. Yeah, lumber went up a little bit, this went up a little bit, maybe rent went up a little bit in these certain areas, or maybe that went up, or food went up, or clothing went up. I don't think this is anything in comparison to where the prices are going to go. Wait until people really get back to spending, because now people are beginning to retract again. And during times where people retract, it's out of fear. And fear drives the market. Emotions drive the market. When people scale back on their spending, we start to see the numbers go down a little bit. When it comes to the stock market, when it comes to silver, when it comes to gold. Another example of something that we saw last year is actually something that we see every 4 years, a presidential election. This happens every 4 years, and a lot of people say that the market is unpredictable and you shouldn't even bother trying to predict it. Majority of the time, I would absolutely agree with that. But the middle of September, every 4 years during an election year, you can pretty much do an okay job predicting what's going to happen, because this right here is when the peak of uncertainty is. People start to say, people start to feel, people start to question, oh my God, what if this guy gets into office? He is so much more likely to burn through money. He's so much more likely to start wars. He's so much more likely to raise taxes. He's so much more likely to make all these terrible, horrible decisions that are going to have detrimental effects to the economy, and everything's going to be a complete and total disaster for 4 years if he were to get into office. A lot of people like to say these things, and then they pull back when it comes to their investments. They liquidate before he gets into office, before they even know whether or not he's going to get into office at all. They take their cash out, they put it elsewhere, they relocate their resources, they relocate their capital, they relocate their currency, and they put it into something that's a little bit more stable during times of economic instability. So they take their cash out of the stock market, and a lot of the time they'll do a couple of different things, and two of the most common things that they'll do during times of economic uncertainty and during times of instability, they'll put it into land, houses, property, or into precious metals, usually gold. So during times of some of the highest levels of volatility and uncertainty, when the stock market really starts to move in a downward direction, during those times it's a little bit different. Like I said before, the markets usually move in the same direction, but during those times we actually sometimes start to see gold move in an upward direction while everything else is moving in a downward direction for that reason alone. Here's another example of something that we saw last year, and here's another example of something that we could potentially see again in the future. Last year, during all the shutdowns, they didn't just shut down our jobs, they didn't just shut down schools, they didn't just shut down this and that, they shut down the mines. Just because we're talking about silver and gold right now, I know this isn't the biggest deal of everything on the list, but it's an important one. They shut down the mines. If less silver is being mined, that means less coins, rounds, and bars are being minted, and the less coins, rounds, and bars being minted, the less there is for those of us who are stacking to stack. And when that happens, the demand goes up, but the supply went down. What happens when we see supply exceed the demand? Prices go down, but in this case, the demand started to exceed the supply. So the prices went up. And not only did the prices go up, but the premiums went up. We saw all types of catastrophes going on regarding that, which we all know, we understand. We don't even need to keep talking about that. But it goes for gold as well. It goes for stocks as well. It goes for certain businesses as well. It goes for the housing market as well. All of these things play a role. And guess what? I only named a few things on the list. It's an endless list. There are so many different factors, and like I said, every factor on the list of factors has a separate list of sub-factors. It goes on forever. Infinite number of factors on the list, and I think it's important to be paying attention to current events because they can give you the best indicator of what's going on right now and what direction we might see the markets start to head in because of everything going on in the world. If everything is running smooth and we start hearing good news, then that could be a sign that we're going to start to see an uptrend. But guess what? Right now, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of pain and suffering right now. And there are a lot of signs that point to it potentially getting worse. Now, I like to consider myself to be somewhat of a delusional optimist, so I will stay optimistic. But I think it's even more important to stay realistic. Keep your head on a swivel, pay attention to absolutely everything, and please, for the love of God, pay attention to the markets that you're not affiliated with. Pay attention to the markets you're involved in. Obviously, it would be foolish not to, but please pay attention to the markets you have no affiliation, no involvement with. It's important to stay informed. Pay attention to everything. Don't get overly consumed with the news. Now, when I say pay attention to current events and to stay informed, I'm not saying to sit on your couch watching Fox and CNN all day. Absolutely not. Pay attention to what's going on. Don't pay attention to what these monkeys in suits are saying and how they're sharing their opinions. Don't worry about the opinions. Forget the opinions. Look for the facts. Do some digging if you have to. It might actually take a little while, but do some actual research. Don't just have the TV tell you what to think. Please, pay attention. Research. Investigate. Form your own conclusions. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. And what are your thoughts on some of what we're going through right now? And how do you think they're going to impact the markets, especially in the short term? The next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, the rest of the year, when it comes to the precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,000, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations. And of course, the brand new DYDSS Lone Wolf t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, coffee mug, and long sleeve tee, available in 4 different colors, and a portion of the proceeds are going towards the International Wolf Center. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? In light of recent events, current events, things going on around the world, things going on in other countries, things going on right here in this country, what do you think this is going to do to the silver and gold, the precious metals markets right now in the short term? What do you think the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, or maybe the rest of the year, maybe even into early next year? Realistically, logistically speaking, what do you believe the outcome is going to be? Do you think we're going to see some blood on the streets? Or do you think we're going to be on the move in an upward direction? Do you think it's all going to blow over and we're going to start taking off? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.